we will discuss process switching, context switching, etc. Before going into context switching, we have to understand for changing the position of the process from wait to execution, execution to wait, and then terminated. OS load the executable from hard disk to RAM, main memory, and OS is responsible to keep track of the states of each process currently executed. And it is the responsibility of OS also to make sure that no process monopolizes the CPU. एक ही प्रोसेस चलते ही है चल रहा है, ऐसा नहीं चलेगा. That means no process starves to death, and the interactive processes are responsive. एंड दो प्रोसेस के बीच में सील्ड होना चाहिए, मतलब प्रोसेसेस आर सील्डेड फ्रॉम वन अनदर. All are the main responsibility performed by the OS. Now, how the process stores in memory? That is, process structures in memory. In process, there are so many parts. One is main part is executable part, that is the code, and the associated data needed by the process, by the program. Actually, program, whenever a program is inactive, it is treated as a process. So program may have global data, dynamic data, shared data, all are associated with the program. So these data structure must be resides in a memory. And if we consider execution context, context is nothing but the state of the process, which contains the contents of data, registers, program counter, stack pointer, memory allocations, open files, and the file pointers, all are in the resides in the context part of the process. So it is nothing but a stack, dynamic data. So in the right hand figure, we have depicted a picture how the process, or broadly the process structure, stores in memory. Now, what is parent and child process? Whenever a process, newly born process is known, whenever a process is created, that means a newly born process is the parent process. And after that, when that process creates another process, that will be the child process. Again, the child process may create another process, that is the child of the child process. And this kind of creation, we can find the process tree, that means tree of a process. All the processed may share the resources or may not be, may be or may not be. But execution of parent and child always execute concurrently. And always parent waits for child to terminate, and parent terminates prior to child process, which may be continues to execute. And there is another ready-made inbuilt library keyword init, INIT. The init process inherit processes whose parents have terminated, used in Unix and I think Windows also. In our syllabus, we have to perform Unix operating system, so we concentrate on Unix operating system. In Unix operating system, init process inherits the processes whose parents have terminated. So the picture is depicted as the tree of process. Root is the parent process, and then Init is the sub process, and that means child process, and user 1 is the user 1, user 2, or user 3, all are the init child process of init process, and so on. Child is duplicate of parent process. Child has a program loaded into its address space. But for creating this kind of process and the process tree, that means parent and child, Unix provide us two ready-made functions. One is fork and another is exec, exec. Fork system calls creates always new process, but exec system calls used after a fork to replace the process address space with a new program. Now look at the code, because in lab, in our operating system, lab means we have to provide Unix operating system, and in Unix system we have to write so many programs, and the basic and common program is how to create a process and its child process. So look at the code. The code is written in C language, but it is a command line program. So void main contain command line parameter, int argc and character star argv. Then int PID is integer, but PID is equal to fork. Fork is a ready-made process. So whenever we call the fork, a parent process will create. As a cautious maintain, if PID less than 0, then fork failed. That means there are some memory error. Else if PID equals to 0, whenever a child process will create, its PID will be 0. Else whenever PID not 0, that means it is a already created process. And if we look the diagram, first time PID equals to fork in green block, parent created, and the left hand branch PID equals to 0, that means the child is created just now, newly born process. And the right hand side, another block in white color, PID equals to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2. That means this is also a child process, but just now created, not a just now created process. It created first, and then the process of left hand block is created. So the right hand block got a unique PID number. This is the child's PID number. Now concentrate on context switch. Whenever context switch occurs, context switch means CPU switches from one process to another process. Whenever CPU switching from one process to another process is called a context switch. So execution state of running process has to be saved, and execution state of next process has to be loaded. In context switching, whenever this step is performed is known as context is saved, and time to save old and load the new process is known as context switch time. This time is the overhead for the CPU, because in this time system does no work at all. So this is the overhead of the CPU, and this time depends on your hardware, means RAM size, CPU speed, bus, how many bits, 32, 64, all are the constraints for determine how long the switching time will require. If we draw the context switch diagram, I think it will be very clear to all. First, look at the left hand side. A process P0 is in execution position. That means it is a running process. But after some time interval, an interrupt occurred. Interrupt occur means system call. That means then CPU have to save the state of process P0 into a process block PCB0, because all processes have different PCB. So PCB, in PCB0, the context of process 0 will set. And now the OS have to reload state from PCB1. Look at the right hand portion, PCB1. So in this, between this time, save state into PCB0 and load state from PCB0. The time span is known as context switch time. So in this time the CPU remain totally ideal. That's why we are saying that this is the overhead of the CPU and it depends upon the hardware support. Again interrupt call, that means after completion of PCB1 means process 1, again we have to load the process 0. So again you have to save the state into PCB1 for process 1 and again reload the state of process 0 from the PCB0. So this is context switch we explained considering two processes, but in real life there are so many processes. So frequently or simultaneously always context switching occur and handled by the operating system. In our next video we will discuss process switching and process scheduling mechanism. So for this theory, for this class, if you have any questions, you can ask me in my chat box.